all started with a whisper of doubt. My wife, Annika, had been anxious for months about our IVF cycle. We had spent thousands, endured injections, scans, emotional roller coasters, all for a chance at a child. But lately, she had been secretive, protective, oddly defensive about the storage and handling of the samples. I brushed it off at first, telling myself it was stress. IVF is stressful. Everyone said so. Then one evening, as she was checking on the samples, I overheard her speaking on the phone. "Yes, just make sure it's switched. No one needs to know," she whispered, her tone tight. My heart stopped. Switched? I froze, couldn't breathe, couldn't process. I waited until she left the room. My mind raced. There was only one way to know. I called the clinic the next morning. "Hello," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I'm calling about our IVF cycle. I need to confirm something." The nurse, cheerful and professional, responded, "Of course. Can I have your name and patient ID?" I gave it carefully. "And could you confirm the samples we have on file?" I asked, trying to sound casual. There was a pause. A long pause. "Yes, sir. Everything matches what was submitted. All samples are accounted for." I swallowed. "Is there any record of a swap or a different donor?" "Sir?" I repeated slowly. "I want to make sure no mix-ups occurred. Specifically, no external donations or sample swaps." Another pause. Then the nurse's tone changed slightly. "Sir, there is no record of any swaps. Everything has been handled according to protocol." I exhaled. Relief and rage colliding. Rage at her for thinking she could hide it. Relief that our future wasn't already compromised. When she returned home, I confronted her. Calmly. "I called the clinic," I said. Her face paled instantly. "What? Why?" "To make sure everything is legitimate, that the samples are ours." She hesitated, words trapped behind panic. You thought you could swap it," I said quietly. Her lips trembled. "I was scared. Scared you wouldn't want this child. Scared you'd leave me if you knew I didn't trust it would work." "Scared?" I echoed. "This isn't about fear. This is about integrity. Our baby, our future. That can't be tampered with." Tears streamed down her face. I panicked. "I didn't think you'd understand." I shook my head. "I would have understood fear, stress, frustration, but deceit, that's a line you can't cross." We spent hours talking that night. No accusations, no shouting. Just raw honesty. Eventually, she admitted everything. She hadn't actually swapped the sample. It was the idea she toyed with in her mind, the fear that led her to consider it. And in a strange way, that was even scarier. Because if someone can come that close to betraying trust without acting, what does it say about the pressure and secrecy we put on each other? I didn't forgive her instantly. I didn't hug her immediately. But I did promise one thing. "From now on," I said, "we face this together. No secrets, no panic decisions, no games." She nodded. The next day, we returned to the clinic together, holding hands, speaking openly to the staff, reassured, transparent. Months later, the IVF was successful. Our daughter was born healthy, kicking and screaming as if to remind us both that life is unpredictable, fragile, and miraculous. I still think about that moment, the call, the truth, the near betrayal. It could have destroyed everything, but instead, it became the turning point. Because sometimes the act of speaking up, even to a stranger on the phone, saves more than just trust. It saves the family. It saved ours.